Welcome to the first episode of Knits and Pieces. I'm Noelle.
I'm Jaclyn.
And we are mother and daughter. And later we'll be having Zoey join us, who is my granddaughter.
My daughter.
So we decided to start a knitting podcast because I love knitting. And Jaclyn's getting more and more involved in it. It's funny because we were talking earlier today. And I guess when I've always knit. I've knit for a long time. Probably 50 years. But when I really got more into it was after I started having children. And now that Jaclyn has Zoey, it's almost like she can see the benefit of it and she's getting into it more.
Yeah, I'm more excited to knit some pieces for my daughter to wear, and then that's getting me excited to knit some for myself as well. So this podcast is about us, but mostly for Mom to show lots of her projects that she completes pretty quickly. I'm not the same. I'm just, I guess, an advanced beginner knitter. I'm trying to do better with some more difficult patterns, but that's my goal for this podcast.
But you're doing really well, and your tension is good, and do you know what your aesthetic is and what you like to knit?
Yeah.
So
this is just our way to show that.
So and we hope that eventually Zoey will be knitting too, and it won't take as long as Jaclyn took to get into knitting.
We'll see.
So, okay, so
I think we were just gonna answer maybe just a couple questions before we got into what we're working on right now and some finished.
Okay, so I think the first one was, when did you start knitting? So I probably started knitting when I was about 8, and my mother taught me how to knit. So she basically taught me the knit and purl stitches. And I can remember, like, as a child, knitting doll clothes. So, you know, even doing yarn overs and knit 2 togethers and knitting doll clothes. And I can also remember knitting, I used to knit like little purses with a drawstring. So I just like knit kind of like a rectangle and have a little row of holes at the top and sew them together and put a drawstring through it for a purse. I don't really remember knitting a full garment until probably in my later teens, and then it was a big, bulky, chunky sweater.
Which
and
is now, funny enough, like back in style. Like
yeah, well, that's right. I know, but I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
So, and again, I said, like, when I started having children, then I started knitting more, because every Christmas,
you're not matching sweaters.
Well, yeah, but a lot of times you want a dress.
Oh,
right? Because true, one of my good friends was a really good sewer, and she would make Jaclyn a dress, and I would make, she had a couple of boys, I would make her boys a sweater, but our boys, well, Jaclyn has 4 brothers, would always have matching sweaters, and Jaclyn would have a dress for every Christmas. So Jaclyn, when did you start knitting?
I probably started knitting maybe 5 years ago, maybe?
Like, we're really more serious.
Probably only in like the last maybe year and a bit.
Yeah, but I tried to teach you.
You tried to teach me multiple times, but I just didn't have the patience for it. But I think on a trip to Toronto, we actually went to a wool store called Americo, and I really liked the aesthetic of the place, and just like the yarns kind of like it kind of spoke to me, and I was like, hey, maybe I should give this knitting thing a try. So the first thing I remember knitting from there, well, I guess that's a segue into our next question, is what the first thing you knit. What you said was probably the sweater. The sweater. Yeah. I mean, I've done lots of like smaller like cowls and scarves, but I did a scarf in, what was the?
It was Americo yarn, and it was cotton flame.
Flame, yes. Yeah. Which was a nice wool. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and then I kind of wanted to do more projects, but that was my first one and how I started knitting.
Yeah. So we hope that we can share our love of knitting with you, and I know. When I first started watching podcasts, there was a lot of things that, I don't know, they were just things that I had never thought about. I'd been knitting forever, but, you know, and all the times that I've been knitting and the socks that I'd knit, I'd never ever thought to put in a different color heel. Or I'd never thought to do a different type of heel or a different type of toe or mix and match yarns. So I think you can get a lot of good ideas from watching podcasts just by seeing what other people's ideas are.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so having said that, we should move into what we're working on right now.
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead. You want me to go first? Okay, well, the thing that I just started a few days ago, this is my Zweig sweater by Caitlyn Hunter. I don't know if you can see that, if it's coming into focus there. And this pattern is quite popular on Ravelry. The pattern calls for 2 colors, and I'm doing it in 2 colors. The colors that I'm doing it in are Hedgehog Fibres, and I'm using their skinny singles. And the first color, or the main color, is this, it's like a green, but it's got flecks of kind of a bronzy brownish and a little bit of black. So basically comes out as kind of tonal, but it's
pretty.
just not, it's just not flat. And then the second color in it is called Pine, and I really like this color. It's just an off-white, but if you look through it, it's got little flecks of almost the same green that's in the other yarn, but it's also got tiny flecks of brighter.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to look really pretty in it overall. Okay, so what are you working on, Jaclyn?
And so right now I'm working on the Azel pullover, which I actually did for my daughter as well, although she won't be able to fit into it for a little bit yet, although she's growing really fast, so who knows, it could be sooner than...
We'll show that
in a minute, but yeah, I am doing it in close to the same color that I did my daughter's in. I've got it maybe almost half done, it's already getting pretty long, but I've done it in the... El Ray, chunky alpaca.
Cozy, I think it's called cozy alpaca chunky.
Yes, yeah. But it has a really nice drape to it. Yeah, it feels really nice. I think it was a 75.
I think it was 30% alpaca, 70% acrylic,
something very close to that. Yeah, so. Yeah, I think it'll be really cozy and it'll be cute to be twinning with my daughter when she can actually fit into her.
I like it, and the yarn feels amazing.
Yeah, it does. And this will be probably the first garment that I've ever, bigger garment that I've ever made for myself. So.
And it's nice for a first one that there's not really any shaping or fitting in it, so you don't really have to worry too much about doing any shaping.
Exactly, yeah. Right now, I mean, it's just a big rectangle, but...
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of patterns these days, we're wearing our boxies, and they're like just big rectangles.
Yeah, that's my current project.
And the next whip that I have here is in my bag from, what's our name again? Bits and Pieces. This bag is from my friend Dawn, who is one of the codependent knitters, and it's the Knit's Best Thing. And the bag's great. It's got a handle on the side, lots of room in here. Right now I've got my socks in it, but I could have easily a 2 or 3 skein project in here. Actually, I could almost have that sweater that I'm working on because the yarn's light.
Yeah.
So I am working on a pair of socks. Okay, I do have one done. You can see that there. I have a hole, a half-finished object. These are just plain vanilla socks, but I did do the rib. I did a little bit of twisted rib at the top just to give it a little bit of interest, although it's kind of hard to see it when you've got a patterned yarn.
It almost looks like camo or something.
A little bit, yeah. And then the heel, I just did an afterthought heel. The afterthought heel that I use is by Susan B. Anderson, Smooth Operator. And the yarns that I'm using, this is Opal. Okay, and it's in their, I can't pronounce it, 100 Wasser work. Okay, and they actually do they take paintings and they kind of put the yarn together kind of to resemble some of the colors in the paintings. And then for the heels and the toes, I'm just using this, it's from Diamond Select, and it's just called Footsie, and it's kind of in like a really creamy tan color. So, but it looks good with the color of the opal. And I have started the second one. Okay, so far I've got the rib done, and I usually do my socks now as magic loop, and this needle is a Chai-Gu. I believe it's 2.25. I can't remember the length of the cord, but I really like the Chai-Gu cords. They really move nicely and smooth, and you know, like there's no kinks or anything in it, and I really love working with the Chai-Gu needles and the Chai-Gu cord. Okay. So that's it basically for our works in progress. So why don't we go on to finished objects?
Sure.
Okay,
so, like I said, I've worked on the Azel pullover for my daughter. So I did it in Bernat Softee Chunky, in the colorway, I believe it's gray taupe. And I guess it's 99% FO, because I still have to, I have to put the buttons on. I have to sew in some of the ends, but I'm so excited for her to wear this. I know it's not going to be for a while, but yeah, I'm excited for a project that I did.
Look at the boxy. You didn't think that would fit her like forever.
No, I know, and it's already fit, so yeah, it'll be sooner than I know it, for sure.
Yeah, so she's just going to put, there's got a couple little buttons that go at the side.
Yeah, do I have the buttons? Let me see if I can.
And we should say too that in yours you decided to do it a little bit differently. Like in this one, she's put the buttonholes in, so she's going to sew the buttons and she'll be able to undo it, which is for Zoey is probably pretty good because it makes it a little easier to get it on and off.
This might have to be a.
Don't worry about it if you
This
can't
might have
find
to be
them.
cut.
But in yours,
behind you.
in yours, did you put buttonholes?
No.
No, why not?
Because half the time when I have like a sweater sort of similar to that the buttons just come open anyway. So I mean, for it to just drape over you, kind of.
Yeah, so we decided that really when she gets done, we're just going to sew the buttons down the
Just
side,
for
but
the
they'll
look
look
of it,
like they're still buttons with buttonholes, but it'll be just more for the aesthetic side.
Yeah.
So, and it's nice and drapey. It's easy to get on and off anyway.
Yeah, hers is a little bit more structured just because it's in
The
a
yarn's a
chunkier
little,
fabric
yeah.
or chunkier yarn, but
yeah.
And then my other FO that I don't have with me but will insert a picture is a baby blanket that I knit for my daughter, and I guess that one's really special to me because I knit it and finished it while I was still pregnant with her. So I knit that one even though I don't have the actual blanket with me. I knit it in Loops and Threads Poppy, and I think this yarn is actually unfortunately discontinued, but I knit it in the colorway light gray, which is a good match for my daughter's room. It's a gray color, and it's got this light gray and maybe a darker gray and lighter pinks kind of speckled through it, and it's really nice.
Yeah, hold it up so they can.
It feels really nice and knit up really well.
It does. It feels nice. The blanket's really nice, and you made it a pretty good size too.
Yeah. So and I still have leftover that I'll have
yeah.
to knit her another little sweater in it.
And the pattern basically was.
It was a kind of modified Americo blanket pattern that, kind of like a block.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, you'll see it in the picture, but it's kind of like blocks of like stocking stitch and then reverse stocking stitch.
Yep.
So, and then the border has the same, but just in smaller segments of the, but it looks really pretty. And it was pretty easy, and it's pretty easy to read your knitting when you're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those projects that you can just be watching TV and not really pay attention because it's a very simple pattern to work with. So yeah, I like that wool. I think it's a good find and not too crazy expensive for a baby's wool. A baby's blanket that's.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knit a lot and I like expensive yarn, but I mean, you can't always afford the most expensive yarn, and especially for something for a baby, it's nice to have it in something that you can just throw
easy and washable.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So those are my.
Okay, so my first finished object are these socks. Okay, and I'll hold them up here and see if you can see them okay. Okay, so these are knit in Patton's Croy, and this is called Rainbow Stripe. It pretty much took all of 2 balls to do this because the Patton's Croy is a little bit thicker and doesn't quite have as much yardage as some of the like the hand-dyed skeins. So this pattern, basically, again, the sock itself is it's just plain stocking stitch in the body of the sock. But what I did do was I used Cat Bordy's Insouciant socks. So I don't know, you probably can't see it because it's dark, but the toe and the heel kind of are a little bit different shape. All the decreases are kind of done in a spiral. So when you get to the heel, like there's only a few stitches left. So it's a little bit different construction than what I would normally do, but I really like it and it fits really nice. Then the top, again, I just did a little bit of the twisted rib. I don't know why I like twisted rib so much lately, but I just like doing it. I think it looks nice.
It looks good. You
so
can
those
like
are,
the color, like you got.
Yeah, well, I did that. I wanted
really
to match that. But. And again, it's like a lot of other podcasters say. It's you either want your socks to match exactly or be like totally not matching, not to just look like they're like a half a stripe off or something. Yeah. So I'm really pleased with those. So I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep them for myself or give them away.
As a present?
Yeah, I don't know yet. Not sure. Okay, and my next finished object, and I just finished this the other day. This is my Carbeth sweater. The pattern's by Kate Davies. The yarn that I used is Cascade Eco Plus, and this is the straw colorway. The Cascade Eco Plus comes in fairly large skeins. I believe they're 250 grams, and this basically took me just a little over 1.5 skeins to make it.
Thanks.
And I really like it. I like how the sweater fits. I did do it a little bit differently. I've made it quite a bit longer than the pattern calls for. because I didn't really want it. I'm already short and I didn't really want it really cropped. I wanted it kind of to come over my, yeah, it was cropped, but I kind of wanted it to come over my butt. So, and anyway, and then these little tags here, if you can see that, my husband makes me these little tags to put on my finished garments, which is kind of nice. They're just little leather tags, and he stamps in them my initials. So it's kind of nice. I mean, it's nice to have on your own, but it's nice if you're giving something away, just to put that little extra piece on it. So yeah, so I really like this sweater. I've worn it once already and can't wait to wear it some more. And I actually, it's the first time I've used the Echo Plus, and I really like the yarn and the feel of the yarn. It's 100% Peruvian wool, so it's not superwash. But when I blocked it, I still, like, my washing machine has a really gentle, quick cycle, so there's not much agitation in it. So I put it in a sweater bag, and I put just like a little bit of ivory soap, like the ivory baby soap, and just do it on a quick wash, take it out, and then lay it all out and block it then. Now, you're probably not supposed to do that with something that's 100% wool like this, but I've had good luck doing it with my washing machine, so it probably doesn't have a whole lot of agitation in it. So
yeah, it turned out really nice.
Yeah, thanks. And then my next finished work in progress for today.
I love the hat.
So this little hat is actually the antler hat by Tin Can Knits, and I kind of modified it down. This is for my other granddaughter, not Zoey. This is for Molly, and the little pom pom, because it's a baby hat. And a lot of the pom poms that you get are big pom poms. I just bought these little keychains at Michael's.
Oh, I'm just like
and when I took the pom pom off, it's got like a little tiny elastic on the bottom, so it was really easy to sew onto the hat. And I mean, like I think it was like, you got 3 pom-poms for like less than $4. So there, can you see that? Okay, and then this is the little sweater that I made to go with it. And the sweater is, again, it's Tin Can Knits, and it's the flax sweater. So you can see the little garter stitch rib down the sleeves.
Yeah, that's so cute.
And this yarn is Mary Maxim Blanky, and it's the Apple Blossom colorway. I mean, it's a huge skein. I could do like probably 2 more sets out of it.
So cute. A matching set.
And I did when I went down. Okay, so the sweater is knit top down. So when I got down to where the arms join on, and then I finished the sweater, then when I went back and did the sleeves, I did cut yarn a little bit because I wanted both the sleeves to look the same. I didn't want them to kind of be piecey. So I went back and I kind of cut just so that those would match. So I'd say that size is probably like a newborn size, maybe a little bit more than that. So
cute.
Thanks. So, any more finished objects?
Nope.
Okay.
Not for me.
No, I don't have any.
Not yet. I do have almost 4-month-old, so I haven't too much.
Right. You're actually getting a lot done for having a 4-month-old. So, we forgot to say actually at the beginning of the podcast that today is Family Day.
Yep.
So Jaclyn is here visiting me in Sarnia. Like, she's from London. So today we're podcasting from Sarnia, but in the future we might be podcasting from London. It just depends on Zoe's schedule.
Yeah.
So, but I've been working in London for a little bit, just short term. But because I'm there, there's a few yarn stores there. So Jaclyn and I have been doing a little bit of shopping. So we do have a few acquisitions to show. So we'll move on to acquisitions.
Do you want to go first, or?
Sure, I'll go first. I know, but this is gonna steal your thunder.
Oh, that's okay. You pull yours out and I'll pull mine out, but then I'll talk about mine afterwards.
Okay.
So
we're both on the Cascade Eco Plus bandwagon.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is the Eco Plus is the same yarn that I did my Carbeth out of, and I got this one at London Yarns. No, not London Yarns. At Knit Stitch. Sorry, I got it at Knit Stitch because we went to London Yarns and they didn't have the color you wanted.
Yeah.
But I got this at Knit Stitch. And the straw that I did my Carbeth in, I actually got that yarn at Heaven is Handmade in Sarnia. So, but this color is color number 7098, and the color is called Merlot, which is perfect.
Of course.
Who wouldn't want a Merlot?
We love wine too.
Who wouldn't want a Merlot sweater?
Exactly.
So I haven't decided yet what I want to do with this, but I do want to knit it up soon because it's a sweater that I could be wearing now, and really the gauge and stuff with this sweater, like, they work up fairly quickly. So I was thinking there's a few that I liked, so we'll see. Maybe I'll have something started by the next time we podcast.
Yeah. And then I guess because I've got it out, I might as well talk about mine. Now, usually I'm a more neutral fan,
right.
so like this to me is very like not my usual what I would pick. But like when I saw this, I mean, you saw it first. I thought, we looked for something similar,
right?
But when you found this, I wasn't there, and you picked it up for me. But yeah, this color, I guess it's like a mauvey pink with. Well, it's a heather tone, and it just speaks to me.
But what was the color name?
So the color's name is Foxglove. It's color 3106.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But yeah, it's really pretty. So
well, remember when we were at London Yarn, you saw like a pink that you liked, but it was kind of like a flat pink.
It was a flat pink, and I really like the heather kind of. I think it'll knit up really nice, like your straw colorway. I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, so. the heathery just gives it that little extra
like tonal dimension kind of. So yeah, I'm really excited to knit with this. This will be my first, I guess, big project for sweater for myself. So I have 3 hanks of this, and I'm gonna do the mail-in sweater by Isabel Creamer. So nice. We have to. I think I want to modify it a little bit just to make sure it's long enough and it's got. But I've got you to help me out. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one
because you want your arms really long.
Yes.
And you want the body long.
Body very long.
But yeah, but like 3 skeins should be lots because that my Carbeth, I think it called for like 2. And I even did it longer, and I still had almost a half a skein left. So I think like 3, you should be able to make it look as long as you want.
Yeah. Maybe have some left over for a baby, something matching. We will see. Yeah.
Okay.
But
okay. The next item that I have to show is
I like that.
Some yarn that I got at Knit Stitch in London. So this is Life in the Long Grass. And it is single sock, so it's 100% merino. It's a singles yarn, so even though it's sock, I don't really think I would make sock out of it because it doesn't have a high twist. It's doesn't have any nylon in it, so I'd be afraid to make socks in it in case it didn't wear that well. But it's going to make a beautiful sweater or a beautiful shawl. And I'll just open it up. This color actually is called Moonlit. Okay? I'll just open it up. And it's got like kind of a whitish base, but then when you look through it, it's got like mauves and a darker purple and some green, and it's kind of speckled, and it's even got like a little bit of a brown. I don't know, it's just really pretty. I just really liked it.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah. And it feels nice.
Yeah, it does feel nice.
So it's, I think, going to be some type of a sweater. I'm not sure what yet. I did get 2 skeins of this. And to do like a, kind of like a tea type sweater for me, I only need like 2 skeins.
Yeah, so you can get away with not very many skeins
that's
for
right. Well, here's the other
sweaters.
But the yardage in it is, let's see here, it's got 400 yards. It's 100 grams. And this was hand dyed in Ireland. So it kind of, I don't know, that kind of reminds me of Ireland a little bit with the kind of like the green speckles in it. And I don't know, I just really like that color, so it was really pretty. So that color is called Moonlight. And then I did get some more Life in the Long Grass.
Of course.
Just put that one down there. And this color is called Rose Hip. Okay, so it's the same base. So it's still the 100% merino. It's still the single. It's just a slightly, well, it's not slightly different. It's quite a bit different when you look at it. But it's more, there's not as much just of the plain cream in it like there is in this one.
Yeah, it's got like a mint undertone.
It's almost got
two kind of base color undertones, like a light, light.
It's like kind of a mauvey pinky gray.
Yeah.
And then it's got the kind of the minty green, kind of, but not a real bright mint.
No,
it's and then it's got like little flecks all through it. There's like a dark teal, and there's like, it looks like a little bit of coral. There's a little bit of brown, and those go through in the corally part as well. Actually, you see more of the darker coral stripes in the pink part.
Now, did you just get 1 skein of that?
No, I didn't just get 1 skein of that. Of this one, I got 3 skeins.
3 skeins. So it's going to be a sweater.
Yeah, this will be some sort of a sweater. But 3 skeins, like I only took 3 skeins to do this boxy. So 3 skeins for me, I can pretty much make a full-size sweater.
Yeah.
Like if you were doing like if you were doing a boxy out of this for you, because your length would be longer and your arms would be longer, you'd probably have to go into four skeins.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got 3 skeins of that and 2 skeins of the other, and I have some ideas, but I'm not quite sure exactly yet what I'm going to make.
See, I think that's the biggest difference between me and you right now. Right now, I'm looking at patterns and being like, oh, what should I do this in? Because this is the pattern that I want. But that being said, my next purchase or my acquisition that I'm going to show is one that when I saw it, I was like, I like this. What can I make out of it? Which is not usually the case. And I picked this up at London Yarns.
Yes.
They had a sale on for Valentine's Day, 14% off. So this is by Yen Garden or Yarn Garden. Yarn Garden. It's super fine fingering weight, and it's 90 super fine superwash merino, 10% nylon. And the color is what got me. I just think this is really pretty. It's a one of a kind color, and they only had. It's an oak, yes. And they only had 1 skein of it, so I think most likely I'll make socks out of this.
Yeah, you have to open it. She doesn't want to open it.
I don't want to open it. Okay, I keep that. Okay.
You haven't even opened it to see it. How could you even buy it without opening it?
Well, because it's so pretty when it's all like...
oh, Jaclyn.
I don't want to ruin it. But yeah, it's... Oh, it's so pretty.
So pretty. It is so pretty. You should make like socks for your mother.
And didn't you say that the dyer is actually here in Sarnia?
Yarn Garden is actually from Sarnia.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be
it's so
really pretty.
Yeah.
And again, with my colorway, like this is not a normal me color. It's usually gray, cream, or black, but. Yeah, that's this color is really speaking to me.
Well, yeah, and there's with the 1 skein. Like I found mostly when I do a pair of adult socks, I don't usually if it's like a 4. How many meters was in this? Did it say on the
400 yards?
Yeah, there's 400 yards. So I think you could probably do yourself a pair of socks and maybe pick out something to do. You could even do your heels and toes like in a gray.
Yeah,
would look really pretty with it. And then you'd have enough left to do a little pair of socks for Zoey too. So she could have matching.
Now again, socks is something I haven't done yet, so that's going to be another challenge for me. But you think everything is easy because you've been knitting so long.
You're going to start off just doing like a vanilla player that's just stocking stitch, and you've worked in the round before because you've done cowls on like a circular needle.
I have, but there's many different ways to make socks, right? You think
there is. You have to figure out what
way for a beginner to try socks.
Yeah. Actually, we should put. You know what? We should put that. We should ask that question in the Ravelry.
Yeah. What do you think the easiest way for a beginner? Yeah. To start.
Because like I know that when I started, I was doing them on double pointed, so the 4 needles. Mm-hmm. But looking back, I'm not sure that's the easiest. But now I do them either on 2 shorter circulars, or my favorite actually at the moment is the magic loop.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so if you want to, we'll put that comment in the Ravelry group, and we should mention that we actually have started a Ravelry group.
Yep.
Okay, so our Ravelry group is called Knits and Pieces, and we'll put all that information in the down bar underneath, or somebody will. It probably won't be me.
My husband will help us out with that.
It'll probably be someone that knows a little bit more about tech stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll put the Ravelry group name in there. So I guess I just have one more acquisition.
I do, and I do have one more as well.
Okay.
Well, I didn't buy it, but
do you want to show yours first?
I guess because we already was talking about socks anyway too. Is that you gave me this for Christmas? So it's just Patton's Croy sock yarn in the colorway Eclipse Stripes, and this is definitely more up my alley, the gray. you know me quite well.
But I'm saying you could do that. You could do like all the body of your sock and the foot, and you could like pop in like something for a pop of color, like in the heel, like a pink or a red or a royal blue or that straw yellow color.
Oh yeah, that
would look really cool to put something like that in.
And
there.
I guess if I'm wearing like mostly like gray and neutral colors and stuff too, like something like
this with a
pop of color,
that's right, and you're not going to see the heel and the toe when it's in shoes, but it makes the sock look more.
Now, is this the same cord that you made your striped socks out of?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So. Yeah, so I guess I have an idea of what it's going to end up like.
Yarn, like as far as sock yarn goes, is pretty inexpensive, and it's a 75/25, and I've made dad like
multiple pairs of
socks, and his favorite pair is made out of this. And I mean, I've used lots of other expensive skeins knitting him socks, and the ones made out of the Croy socks are his favorite pair. But I don't know whether it's because of the color or whether it's because
like how they wash up.
Well, they just says every time I ask him, these are his favorite pair. So
I'm sure it has to do with more than just the way they look, because it's dad.
Yeah, and I knit Daniel a pair in the Croy, and he really liked them too. He had them on last night.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm excited to.
Yeah, and I mean that doesn't feel, when you feel it, it doesn't feel as soft as some of the when you get some of the hand dyeds. A lot of times the yarn feels a lot softer, but the Croy really wears well. Oh. So sometimes when you get that yarn that's a little bit toothier,
yeah,
it just wears a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have one more?
I have one more. Okay. So I've been kind of wanting this yarn for a long time, and I've kind of looked at it online, but I really don't buy a whole lot of yarn online because I really like to see it and see the color before I buy it.
Yeah.
So this is from the Fibre Co.
And you've got this one of London yarns
yes.
too, right?
Yeah. And this is called Meadow. And I just love it. I love the feel of it.
And it was hard for you to pick a color too, right? Because there was a bunch of really, really nice colors.
That I didn't know what to pick, but in the end, I chose this color. And this colorway is called Larkspur. So we both got like flower name colors.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this is called Larkspur. It's in their Meadow base. The yarn is 40% wool, 25% llama, 20% silk, and 15% linen. Okay, and I believe that it's classified as lace or a light fingering. Okay, so it's 100 grams, but there is 545 yards. So that's quite substantial. I've got 2 skeins. So I believe what I'm going to do with this is make the Tegna pattern by Caitlyn Hunter. It's a lot of people have made that pattern lately. It's just kind of like a loose fitting tee, but it's got a whole lace border all around the bottom. And then it just has like little sleeves that come to here. But depending on how much yarn I've got, if I've got enough, I might make the sleeves longer. So I don't know whether I'll have enough to make them long sleeve, but like maybe like the 3/4. Yeah. But I really like the color, I really like the feel, and I think it'll really make a nice sweater.
Yeah.
So, and again, like Jaclyn said, this yarn had gorgeous colors.
Really, really nice colors.
I guess I'll open it and show you what it looks like. I made Jaclyn
you
open
have
hers,
to now, yeah.
so I have to open mine. It's basically, you get the color from it because it's kind of tweedy. I think it's kind of the way all the different fibers in it take the color. Right, so some of them take it a little bit deeper, some of them take it a little bit lighter, so you kind of get that nice tweed effect. And then it's got like kind of that little bit of halo from the llama that's in it.
Yeah.
And then it should be good and strong because it's got the silk. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to knitting with that.
They had a really nice gray color.
They had a really nice pink color.
Yes, they did too.
So who knows? We might have to get more. Yeah. So is that it? Do you have anything else?
That's all I have right now.
Okay, so today we're all wearing our Boxy sweaters by Locatelli. They're just a little bit different patterns. So mine is just I think it was the first one that came out. It's just the regular Boxy. And I've done it in Madelinetosh twist sock. And it's the Opaline color. Jaclyn actually bought me a couple of skeins of it back when I had some foot surgery so that I'd have something to do. I really like it. I think I actually cut a few of the stitches out because they're not very big. And the other thing I did was I like my sleeves to be full length because I can always push them up if I'm hot, but I really like to be able to pull them down if I'm cold. So Jaclyn will tell you a little bit about hers.
And I'm wearing the worsted Boxy, which Mom knit, and it's knit in an Aran weight that's discontinued wool now. And she is wearing the little Boxy. Hey, Zoey?
Yep. Yeah. And Zoey's is made in Hedgehog Fibres twist sock, and that's the Heyday colorway. And the trim in it is Madelinetosh unicorn tails in neon peach.
And she's also got matching socks.
Yeah, she's got matching socks, which are almost too small.
I know. You're growing too fast, baby girl.
So we all love our Hohi. The patterns are all by Locatelli, and they're great patterns. They look pretty much good on any body type. You can adjust them for size, and that one is actually mine, and Jaclyn said she's taking it home. So,
I might be borrowing it.
The yarn that this one was made out of, it was yarn that I've had in my stash for probably over 20 years. Because I used to work in a yarn shop, and it closed. And actually, when she closed, she sold a lot of the yarn that she had like at a really good discount. So of course it was a discount. I had to buy it.
Of course.
So this yarn, I don't believe they make it anymore, but it actually, it made a really nice sweater.
Yeah,
and it feels really nice on, and it drapes really nicely for the boxy fit. So, you know, you never know. Just because you've got yarn in your stash for 20 years doesn't mean it's not going to become something.
It was calling out to become a boxy.
It was calling out to become a boxy, and it did.
Yeah.
So, and then Zoe's little sweater, if you hold that one up again, that is called Little Boxy, and that sweater, I believe I did the 6-month size. But realistically, that sweater is going to fit her for
a while.
Like a long time. Because it's so wide. So right now when she's got it on, it's almost like tunic length.
Yes, yeah.
But like eventually, like she'll be able to wear that like as a toddler, like just as a little crop top with like a pair of jeans. And that is because that's a sock yarn and it's got the nylon in it and it's superwash. It means you can like throw it in the washing machine, which is nice when you're doing a little kid's sweater.
And then...
Yeah, those are her
saw
socks.
them briefly, but the little socks that almost pretty much don't fit anymore because she's growing so quickly.
Yeah, and I forgot to say that those little socks are, the pattern is Kate Atherley's baby socks, and that's almost my go-to baby sock pattern because it just works up so quickly, and it's nice, and it's I only had actually a little bit of the Heyday left, so it was enough just to kind of make the foot, and then this was the rest of the little neon peach that I used around the collar.
Yeah, the collar.
And then the blue actually was just, I had done a pair of socks in a Mary Maxim yarn, and it was kind of like a stripe, and I needed that blue, so I just unwind one of the stripes and just used the stripes, to match in the heel and the toe. So it's a good way, the baby socks are a good way to use up a lot of your leftover sock yarn. Mm-hmm. So, and they make nice, you know, even if you have kind of like a little stash of them on hand, they make a nice baby gift if someone has a baby or you have to go to a shower or... So they're just cute. Yeah. So, and then I don't think I mentioned this scarf that I'm wearing. This is the Reina scarf. I can't remember the designer name. I looked it up, but I can't remember. It was Nura.
We'll put it in the
Anyways, we'll put it in the show notes. But it's a free pattern on Ravelry. Lots of people have done it. This yarn is Noro Silk Garden sock, and I think it took about maybe like a skein and a bit to do that yarn. And I like this. I can't remember the colorway because Noro colors are just numbers, but like this has got so many colors in it. It just goes with a lot of things. So
like gray.
Yeah, like gray. It does go with gray, Jack. It actually goes not bad with that one that you're wearing too. Yeah. So, so I think, is that it for today?
Yeah, I think that's it for today.
Okay, so we hope to, we're not quite sure how regularly we're going to be able to podcast, but we hope in the future that we'll have some knit-alongs and some giveaways, but we hope this was just kind of an introduction to kind of what we do, and we do a few other things too, other than just knitting. Well, I do.
Well, you do.
Well, you cook.
Weaving.
And make cookies and
I bake. Yeah.
But I also have a loom, so I do some weaving. And a little bit of sewing. I want to get more into that. We actually both want to get more into that. Like,
yeah, I've done some, again, very beginner, but it's been a long time since I've done that. But I'd like to, because I'd like to maybe make my own project bags in the future. But
Yep, so we want to get into a little bit more sewing. And then this winter, I did some candles, made some candles. And I can hear Zoey in the background here, so we're going to be just wrapping this up pretty quickly. But yeah, so we hope to be able to share some of the other things that we do too, like not just knitting, but just things that are kind of fun, and especially things that are fun to do, like family things and mother-daughter things. And so we hope that you enjoy this and come back and watch us again.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.